Good morning, everyone. Christopher here, and welcome back to another episode of Fossil Forward Finds. Based on the popular vote of 2, we decided to skip ahead back to the present day for our What Sold video. So this is for December 28th through January 3rd, so the last week of December through the beginning of the new year. 24 orders during that period for a total of $426.79 gross, which is definitely above my average. Hopefully, this is the start of the new average for the new year. We'll see. But yeah, some really nice sales. There's a couple I'm excited to show you this week. Quick scroll through. It was a mostly postcard week. Again, nothing surprising there, but a few non-postcards items in there. Got some photographs, a couple swap cards, trade cards, plush. So yeah, nice little variety there. But let's get into it because I'm excited for this one. Alrighty, to start off, we have a Jurassic Park POG, of course. Always happy to show these off. This one went for a full asking of $9.99. And we have one of the Velociraptors breaking into, we're trying to escape the kitchen freezer here. You got Timmy there and Lexi getting ready to lock him in. Her in, rather. So yeah, Jurassic Park, Skycaps, $9.99. This is not from the Big POG haul, which I need to get back to. I believe I have Disney next to do, so we'll get those listed soon in a video out for you. Nice little sale there. This one came from my mom's collection. One of the things my dad downsized as after she passed. So I got all the Ghost plush, and I listed them all before Halloween, but it was really close to Halloween, so I'm not surprised that they're selling after the fact. But this is the second or third one I've sold now. This one sold on offer for $10.49. They are all Hallmark. Some of them still have their original tags on them. This one's Little Glimmer the Ghost. I don't know if I have a... Yeah, this is a 6-inch version. I think I have a 12-inch version in the store still, or close to it. So, hey, Garak. Garak stole my chair again, so I'm in a different one, though he has since vacated that to tuck. All right. Yeah, so nice little sale there. All right, I think this might be the first Victorian trade card, or in this case is a Japanese trade card, that I've ever sold. I don't have many listed, so, well, I don't have many listed. Something I hope to change this year. But this one I got on Whatnot for around $3 from Gen717. And it's sold on a single bid for $19.99. It's too early. I overslept this morning. Alrighty, so we got big old boar on here, and it looks like we're advertising raw silk. So, Mount Fuji in the background. So yeah, a little different. Nothing on the back. We'll ask in $19.99. Can't complain about that. Alrighty. So I've had this collection for a long time. One of the first collection of photos I ever purchased for the store. This was back when Dom over at Primetime Treasure Hunter was doing live shows where he would allow his viewers to submit listings, and he would pick them in the order that they came in and show them and try to get them sold for people. I'm pretty sure that's when I got these anyways. But it was like a lot of 500 or so air show planes photographs. Some of them are labeled like this one. If you believe the people on the internet, they're not all labeled correctly, because trust me, if you label one of these planes incorrectly in the title, you will get a message. I have had several. And honestly, I was getting those messages so often at the beginning, and I don't know planes, I don't really know what I'm doing, that I stopped for a while. But I'm getting back into it. I need to get these all listed. I am trying them all individually because I'm a glutton for punishment. I could just try to relot them all up and just get my money back and go on. But I am trying them all individually first. This one sold for the full asking of $7.99 within a few hours to overnight. I forget exactly. So I don't think I mentioned it. So I bought the 500 cards, and I think it came out to about, or 500 photographs. I think it came out to about $100 after shipping, and taxes and stuff. So only about 20 cents a card, which ain't bad. It's just a matter of getting that money back now. So I probably still have like 300, 400 to go. So you'll be seeing these creep into the store throughout the year. Um, One thing I'm trying to do this year is have a lot more scheduled listings. And included in that is to have at least 2 snapshots or CDVs, 2 photographs, anyways, come out per day. At the moment, I'm doing a bunch of Mexico photos, but I will be putting the planes back in that rotation as well. All right, into the postcards. This one came from Albany album number 20. It is a real photo postcard showing Ox float on parade. This one's really cool because you got people hanging out the windows watching, having a grand old time. You got a big smile on. You got some identifications going on here. You got a little sign, looks like for a tailor or something of the sort. Something acorn stoves, I believe I was able to figure that one out. St. Charles probably means, I don't know. On the back they had written St. Charles, Illinois with a question mark, so I did the same. I think this went to a different state than Illinois, but nice little card. Sold on offer for $16.50. So pretty nice there. Probably would have gone better if I could have known for sure, and the condition's a little rough too. But I don't worry about condition as much with RPPCs because a lot of them are one-of-a-kind uniques. It does have a little bit of caption on here. It says Wild West Parade. So I tried looking that up to see if there was a specific St. Charles town or whatever that had Wild West parades, but as you can imagine, it's not the most unique term for a parade. So nice sale there. Alright, I love the embroidered ladies. This one sold for the full asking of $20, $19.99. Came from Albany Album 1, so one of the original from the haul. Listed this back in August. This one is artist sign, Elsie Gumier, I'm going to say. A lot of the embroidered stuff is done by this artist. I'm not sure if I'm assuming the artist did the original drawing and then someone else came through and did the embroidery after the fact. I am not sure of that. But anyways, this one is a Greek woman, a little different. Most of what I have typically are Spanish women. But we have Greek women here. Beautiful costume. Very nice condition. This one's actually on its way to New Zealand, which is pretty cool. I can't imagine what they paid in shipping. But they paid $20 for the card. So very happy on that one. I hope they enjoy it. All right, another real photo. This one I got on Whatnot recently as well for around $2 from El Ephemera. Anytime I mention these Whatnot sellers or if I mention an eBay seller by name, please go and check out their stores. I'm mentioning it for a reason because I'm getting good deals. They have good stuff. I want you to go out there and support them as well. And if you are one of these sellers and you're watching these videos and you don't like it if I mention your name, please let me know and I will stop that in advance in future videos. I see it as hopefully advertising for you. Anyways, this one I got on Whatnot from El Ephemera from in a little lot for about $2. Sold for the full asking of $24.99. And I think it's like a real photo of another image of a painting or something. Like you can see the text down here is I don't know, it looks like a print of a print or a photo of a photo. But anyways, it shows Fort Benton Levee steamboat. And I don't typically share a lot of information about the buyer, but the buyer's name was Fort Benton, their screen name, username, ID number, whatever. So they're clearly at least a collector of Fort Benton, if not associated with some museum or facility. So glad that's going somewhere where it will be enjoyed. And it's got a nice little stamp on the back here, genuine photo postcard sample, got a number, Belfast, Maine, Eastern Illustrating Company. I've had a few real photos by that company, so not too bad there. It didn't take long to sell at all. Alrighty, this one is another Whatnot purchase. I think I got it from Postcard and Prosecco, but I'm not positive. It was a series of 9 or 10 cards that I received that they are technically reproductions of older artwork, but what's nice about these ones is they're not trying to hide that fact. I put it in the title. But so here we got a anthropomorphic apple, big-headed apple thing near the apple of my eye. On the back, it's Hallmark 80 years of caring. So it's clearly showing that it's a historical collection, and that it is a reprint. And then all the ones that I received came with this little postcard Hallmark historical collection like ID card or extra card that went with it. This was about a 4x6 size, whereas the postcard itself was your standard size. So I just scanned them and sold them together, and this one went for the full asking of... Oh, no, it didn't. It went on offer for $8.50. I do have a few other vegetables and fruit available if you're interested. I think they all started at $9.99, so nice little sale there. These had been sitting on my shelf for a few months, and I finally got around to dealing with it, and I'm glad I did because they're fun. All right, this buyer is takes after my own heart a little bit. Bought all geological related postcards, 5 or 6 of them. First one here, got a slice from Petrified Log and Petrified National Forest, so fossilized wood there. Actually, a number of the postcards that they purchased, I actually have in my personal collection as well, including this one, which is the Taconic Falls in New York during winter. It's one of my favorite New York waterfalls. I've been there a few times, but I've never been there in the winter. I've been there in the fall where you see all the colors, and that's been pretty nice. So I imagine seeing it in snow and ice is probably quite nice as well. So I have one of these in my collection. Let's see. This came from a museum in Maine. I went on a geology trip back in the summer, and we went to this museum, and I picked up 2 of every postcard they had in the museum, one for me and one to see if I could sell online, and most of them have sold. I think I only have one left, and that's the exterior of the building. All the actual geology ones themselves have sold. But this one shows a nice tourmaline mineral, red tourmaline. In reality, this thing is probably like teeny tiny. But they're really, really neat when you find them, which doesn't happen often. So this one came from the Dunton Quarry in Maine. Here's another one from the same museum. This is a slice of a meteorite, the Seymichen Palisite meteorite. Probably something in Eastern Europe, I'm guessing. I'm not an expert. Let's see what it says here. Yeah. Magadan, Russia. So nice little slice there. You can see all this yellowish green is all olivine. Common mineral we find here on Earth, but you can find them in predominantly palisite meteorites as well. So that was a nice little one to sell. And last one in this set, I think they bought another one in a separate order that I combined, but this one here is Monument Valley, Arizona. This came from album number 19. So just a basic monument view. It's not an uncommon card, but happy that it's going to a fellow rock lover. So a nice sale overall. After shipping and fees, came out to $24.55 on the lot. So pretty good. Alrighty. And this is by far my best postcard sale to date. Bought this on Whatnot as well during, I think, Cardpalooza or Postcardpalooza. I forget exactly which. Paid roughly $5 after cost of goods, all the things. Anyways, this one I took a stab at the dark and started this one at $89.99, and it did sell on one bid for the full asking. And I mean, it's a great picture to start with. You got this kid with a baseball bat, old school baseball bat. Got some gloves there, old catcher's mask and mitt. He's got a bit of a uniform on, baseball tucked up against his hip there. Best smile ever on a kid. Perfectly framed. I think it was BBS on Whatnot was saying in a show recently that they wish old photographers would have framed their subjects better. And here, this one's framed perfectly. A lot of times they're off in the corners or, not zoomed in. So this one's really framed nicely. And I think what added that extra value is I was able to identify the maker of the bat. So you can see there's a bit of a mark there. I was able to zoom in on it better on my screen than I am here, but you can see a D and an M, and then what ended up being I believe a dog above it. And that came out to be Draper and Maynard, and it was a specific their specific bat line as well. I might have put it in. Yeah, it's their Lucky Dog line, the D&M Lucky Dog line. So I made sure I had those keywords in there. Lucky Dog went in the item specifics. I didn't have enough room in the title, but did go for the full asking of $89.99. Buyer has already received it, left positive feedback, which was a weight off my anxious little heart. So very, very happy about that. As you might be able to tell, I am moving more into the real photos, or at least I'm trying to add more of them into the store. I thoroughly enjoy them. I enjoy coming up with the descriptions for them, the titles. And a lot of them are worth more because they are one of a kinds. So that's not too bad either. You know, I do want to make this business full time at some point in my life. And to do that, I need to, keep pushing that envelope. So happy with this sale. Now I'm going to throw one bonus sale in there that I actually sold on Christmas Day. So it's outside the window, but it was too good not to show. And it's another real photo postcard, also bought on Whatnot from the Forage Find. And this one is a real photo of snowflake micrographs. And I almost kept this one, and I almost priced it twice the price to force it to stay in my store a little longer, or maybe force it. I don't know. Maybe I could have got the double price. But anyways, it sold on a single bid for $49.99 to a repeat buyer. So very happy on that one. Here's the back here. Not a lot of information, but you can see it's got the ASO back. So 1920s, I think the squares are. Yeah, and then 1930s. So a nice little one here. You can see it's a bunch of little micrograph images. Everything got stitched together in some form or fashion. I don't know how they did this with early photography. Now you just use Photoshop, but really cool image. It was one of those I've never seen this before. I've seen snowflake micrographs, but never on a postcard, and certainly not as a real photo. So I was willing to pay the $4 or $5 for it, which is something else I've started doing over the past month, is being willing to take a bit more risk, pay a little bit more for some of these real photo cards that I think I can flip for something better. So get a little bonus one in there because it was too good. Let me know what your favorite sale was out of this lot. I hope you had a great New Year's. I hope the start to your New Year's is doing pretty good. I know the world is kind of a crazy place at the moment. Anyways, that's enough for this. We'll catch you on the next one.